What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about Black Ops 7 Zombies, everything you need to know about it, and of course what improvements I think that they could make to make it better. So let's get into it. Now, starting off, I want to talk about the map itself. The map that we got to play is called Van Dorn Farm, and this is a little survival map based off of Black Ops 2 Farm. It's basically a reimagining of it, okay? So it expands on it, it makes it a little bit bigger, and there's more room to maneuver. It's much more wide open, but you can tell that a lot of it is reused assets, which I hope in the future that there are some new maps being added into here as well. But one thing I will say that I like about it is the addition of classic mode being a thing. The fact that you can actually play zombies the way that it's meant to be played. Starting off with the starting pistol, and just having a traditional zombies experience. That is crucial to bringing back older players like myself and keeping our interest. You know, and the fact that I'm not constantly getting spammed with boss zombies. I think that's a good thing about the classic mode, because it's a return to form, which is something that we've needed for a very long time. I was not a huge fan of the modern zombie system, and this kind of combines it, you know, a classic mode with some of the modern zombies mechanics, like on this map. There's no perk machines, you just have the Wonder Fizz, which I do like the addition of the Wonder Fizz, the modern Wonder Fizz that is. I think it's better than like the BO3 version where it just gave you random perks. This one, you know, just like in Cold War and any of the other games, you get to pick your perks. You can just go up to it and buy whatever you like, and I think that's fine. The armor system is in the game too, which I don't mind. Consider that like, you know, extra Juggernog, extra health. I don't really mind it, I think it's fine. But one thing I will say that is a bit strange, and this is probably just for me personally, is the fact that the Omni movement is part of zombies. This is my first time playing zombies with Omni movement. I haven't played zombies since Cold War, and this game definitely got me interested in getting back into some newer zombies. I mean, I've been playing the same zombies games forever now, so I'm definitely ready for some new stuff. And the Omni movement is a bit strange, but it doesn't really hurt anything. It's more of a gimmick in my opinion. But what I will say is, in terms of the mechanics, like the gunplay and everything, it's fine. The Pack-Punch camos look pretty cool. It's kind of like this like tiger stripe camo. Looks pretty cool. But I think one thing that really needs to be done with this, and I can't stress this enough, is that as this game progresses, as we get further and further into the game's life cycle, I really hope that they don't fuck us over on zombies content. Because this is what made Cold War suffer. Okay, they focused a lot of their time on their outbreak mode, and, you know, the round-based maps, there was really a couple good ones. You had Die Maschine and Mauer der Toten. The other two maps were pretty boring, especially the last one, Forsaken, which was literally just a campaign mission made into a zombies map. I really hope that we get fresh, new round-based maps on here. That is like essential to keeping people interested, because if they just continue to reuse assets, it could be a serious problem. And obviously with a map like this, it is reused assets, and they're thinking of, you know, they're gonna have this like new like reimagined transit mode, which I really don't have any interest in playing. I'm simply interested in the traditional round-based experience, and transit was never something that interested me. I'm surprised that they're actually going back to that concept, knowing how much it was hated back in the day. Like I said in another video when I was talking about zombies, you know, it seems like a lot of people nowadays are saying how good transit is, but back in the day, like, literally everybody hated it. Transit at one point was considered the worst zombies map. And now I will say, will this version be as bad as the original transit? No, probably not. Because if you can tell by looking at this map, there's not fog everywhere, and there's no, like, denizens or anything like that, and I would highly doubt that they would bring that shit back, knowing how much it was hated in the first place. If they do, it's really going to affect that mode and really screw things over. I haven't heard a whole lot about that mode other than the fact that it is going to be a transit reimagined style mode. Again, not a whole lot of interest in that. I'm very curious what type of like true zombies maps that we're going to have, what type of survival maps we're going to have. I hope to see some new stuff and get away from, you know, just constantly reusing assets. But aside from that, if I had to rate the mode as it is right now with this particular map, I'd give it like a, I don't know, 6.5 out of 10, roughly. It's fine, you know, it's a good survival map. It seems like it would be good for high rounds. It's pretty straightforward. I do like simplicity. I don't like complex maps that feel like campaign missions, and this one most certainly did not. And the other thing I want to mention is that there's an option to save and quit in solo. I've talked about this for years. This is a thing that was available back on the Black Ops 1 mobile version of Zombies that I believe came out in like 2011. It came out like a year after the original release of the game. And all it did was allow you to save your game. That way you could, you know, resume the game like you would a campaign mission. I think that that's a great option to have, especially for high rounds players, because you don't have to worry about resets or your game crashing, because you can just play to a certain round, save and quit, and pick up where you left off. I don't understand why that was not implemented into other Zombies games, because it is a solo match. You're not playing online, so it should be able to be saved just like a campaign mission. I see no issue with that. I think that is a great thing to add, and I've been talking about that for a very long time of, like, why isn't that, you know, ever been implemented into it? Now, the one thing that I will say about this is the, I guess you can call it the dog round or special round, whatever you want to call it. It's interesting what it's supposed to be, but it's not, like, classic enough. It doesn't really feel like COD Zombies. Like, something about this style of zombies is just off, okay? The aesthetics, like, something about it reminds me more of, like, Extinction. I know that's going to be a really controversial point, but let me explain. So, with the dog round, you have, like, these little weird, like, alien-looking zombies that run super fast at you, and it just really feels odd. I always preferred a traditional dog round. I never understood, like, the special zombies that were not dogs, especially in a classic mode. Like, if you want to put them in the other mode that's not this mode, that would be fine. But for the classic mode, I think that traditional dog rounds would make more sense. And then, of course, they still added in boss zombies in the classic mode. There's like this giant bear thing that comes in every so many rounds. It only came in once for me this time because I played till round 20. And I think it came in around like round 17 or something. It wasn't super hard to kill, but I don't really consider that a classic zombies experience if you're going to add in boss zombies, because most of the classic maps, aside from maps like Origins that had the Panzer and stuff like that, really didn't have boss zombies. Like, you wanted to play Kino der Toten or Shino Numa, it was just you and the zombies, you know. It just doesn't feel right. I don't really know how to explain it. That's really my only criticism. Aside from that, I think everything is completely fine with the mode, and I think it has potential. So, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.